Welcome to physics class. I am Rohini Chogle. Already in previous classes we discussed about the Thevenin's theorem, Norton's theorem and superposition theorem and also problems based on those theorems. In this class I want to discuss about the maximum transfer theorem. This is the last theorem in this chapter. Okay, so today I want to discuss about this theorem. Let's start with the statement. So what do you mean by the maximum transfer theorem? Maximum power is transferred from a source to load when the load resistance is made equal to the internal resistance of the source. This is applied to both powers. This here, maximum power is transferred from a source to load. Okay, so it is transferred from source to load when the load resistance is made equal to the internal resistance of the source. So what it means, when the source maximum power is transferred from a source to load when the load resistance is made equal to the internal resistance of the source. This is applied to both powers. Here the circuit is, this is EMF, RI means internal resistance, I means current, RL means load resistance. This is a graphical representation. X-axis RL and Y-axis P output. See here, the graph drawn between RL versus P output, and this is the peak we get. So the peak is what? P maximum, and this is equals to RL, that is equals to RI, means load resistance is equal to internal resistance. This is figure 2, this is figure 1. So up to this much is clear. Now proof. So consider a voltage source generate a voltage E and its internal resistance Ri and delivering power to the load RL. The load current flowing through the circuit is given by the current. Already we know the current I equals to E by R. So I equals to E means E, this is R means resistance. In the place of resistance we are applying internal resistance and load resistance, so that is E divided by RL plus RI. So consider this is expression number 1. The power absorbed by the load is the given by P equal to I square R. Already we know the formula. So P equals to I square RL, because it is applied to the load only, because the power absorbed by the load is given by P equals to I square RL. So consider this as expression number 2. So this is the expression for current, this is the expression for power. Substituting the value of I from equation 1 to in the equation 2 we get. See here, substitute the value of I in equation 2, because P equals to I square RL is there, no? So put I equals to this value, so that becomes P equals to I means what? E divided by RL plus RI, square is there, so that is square. RL as it is, so RL as it is. Consider this as expression number 3. Now for the given source voltage E and internal resistance RI are constant. In this expression, E and Ri is constant. Therefore, power delivered to the load depends upon the value of RL. To get the maximum value of power, we differentiate the equation 3 with respect to RL. See here, we know the value of I and value of P. Using the value of I, we can find the value of P. So substitute the value of I in this equation, and in this equation E and Ri become constant, and differentiate this equation with respect to RL, that is with respect to load. See here, differentiation. P is there, no? P with respect to L means dP by dRL, that is equals to, see here, U by V, apply U by V. Here E square into RL is there, so first use E square is as it is, E square is as it is, RL, differentiation of RL is 1, so 1, that is what? First du by dv into V is there, so V, RL plus RI square is there, no? So RL plus RI square, E square is common, so take E square as a common. Here RL is 1 minus V as it is, Ri plus RL is as it is. So differentiation of RL square is 2RL divided by RL plus Ri square, square means that becomes 4. So here apply U by V differentiation. P with respect to RL means dP by dRL. So E square as it is. Put V as it is. RL, differentiation of RL is 1 minus E square as it is. So E square take out. Take outside the bracket. Next RL RL plus Ri square. RL plus Ri square is there, no? So RL plus Ri square, the differentiation is what? 2RL. RL plus Ri as it is. Next, RL plus Ri square. Square means raised to 4, that is. Next, consider this is equals to 0. Okay, equals to E square RL plus Ri square minus 2RL. RL plus Ri divided by RL plus Ri raised to 4. Now, RL plus Ri square. This is minus 2RL. This is minus 2RL into RL is minus 2RL square. Minus into plus is minus 2RL Ri means 2Ri RL equal to 0. This into this is 0. Anything into 0 is 0. Now apply here formula a plus b whole square. RL square plus Ri square plus 2RL Ri minus 2RL square minus 2Ri RL equals to 0. This means what here? Here RL square is there. Here minus 2RL square is there. So that becomes minus RL square. 2RL Ri, 2RL Ri get cancelled. Ri square is there. No, so this is Ri square. A square minus B square. That is what? A plus B, A minus B. Okay, Ri minus RL, that is equals to 0. RL, that is equals to Ri. Since RL plus Ri can't be equal to 0. This is not equal to 0. Only this is equals to 0. So Ri minus RL equal to 0. That becomes what? RL equals to Ri. Thus the power absorbed by load is maximum when the load resistance is equal to the internal resistance. See here, this is load resistance, this is internal resistance. These both are equal, hence maximum transfer value theorem is proved. See here, what we proved here? Ri and RL is there. We have to prove Ri equal to RL. So that's why current flowing through in this circuit is. So the current flowing through in this circuit is what? I, that is I equals to E by R. E divided by RL plus Ri. P equal to I square RL. So put I value in this expression and differentiate this with respect to RL and substitute the value of Ri and RL and simplify this equation. We will get RL equal to Ri. This is only the maximum transfer theorem. This is easy, no? Now see here, in the textbook they will not given the problems based on maximum transfer theorem. Most of the problems depends on only Thevenin's theorem and Norton's theorem and superposition theorem. In superposition theorem already I explained one example and already I gave one as a homework. Those two are sufficient. In Norton's theorem and Thevenin's theorem also already I given you the homework. Please try those problems. In this class also I want to discuss about Thevenin's problem and Norton's problem. That is the applied problem. See here. So the problems, first one is show that when Thevenin's equivalent circuit of a network is converted into Norton's equivalent. So Thevenin's is converted into Norton's circuit. It is IN means Norton's current, that is equal to E Thevenin's divided by R Thevenin's, ETH by RTH. So N means Norton's, TH means Thevenin's, and RN, that is equals to RTH. Here ETH and RTH are Thevenin's voltage and Thevenin's resistance respect. So this is the network. This is what N and B. This is figure A. So the solution means what? Figure A shows a network enclosed in a box with two terminals A and B. Throughout, Thevenin's equivalent circuit of this network will be also shown in figure B. So this is figure B. A and B. This is ETH and RTH. To find Norton's equivalent circuit, we are to find IN. Okay, and RN from figure B. IN equal to what? Current flowing through short circuited AB in figure B. This is what figure B. This is A and B. Okay, this is RTH and ETH. IN means what? I equal to E by R. So IN, that is equal to ETH by RTH. RN is what? Resistance at terminal AB in figure B, that is equals to RTH. See here. This is IN, RN, that is equals to RTH. Figure C shows Norton's equivalent circuit, hence we conclude that as the following two important conclusion. IN equal to ETH by RTH. Sir, using this circuit, IN equal to ETH by RTH. So RN equal to RTH. To convert Norton's equivalent circuit into Thevenin's equivalent circuit, ETH, that is equals to IN into RN. ETH, that is equal to IN into RN, because RTH is nothing but RN. RTH equal to RN. In this problem, just we have to show that Thevenin's resistance is equal to Norton's resistance. Means what? Just draw these two circuits and find the I in this circuit and this circuit. Already we know Rn equal to Rth. That means what? Rth equal to Rn. Simple is that. Next, second problem. Using Thevenin's theorem, find the current through the galvanometer in the Wheatstone network shown in figure. Already you all are familiar with the Wheatstone network in your second PUC. This is the Wheatstone network, means 4 resistors are there, 1 galvanometer is there, 1 battery is there. These are the terminals A, B, C, D. This is what? Wheatstone network. Okay, so the resistance they were mentioned 3 ohm, 6 ohm, 6 ohm, 4 ohm, 10 ohm galvanometer is there, 2 volt battery is there. Now we have to find the, using Thevenin's theorem, find the current through the galvanometer in the Wheatstone network. Now we have to find the current flowing through this galvanometer. So here, step 1. The galvanometer is removed as shown in figure. First, remove this galvanometer. Potential between A and B. So potential difference between A and B. That is what? Multiply 2 into 3 divided by 3 plus 6 resistance. A and B is there, no? So multiply 2 into 3 divided by 3 plus 6. That is 2 by 3. That is equal to 0.67 volt. Next, potential difference between A and D. This A and D. 2 into 4 divided by D is 6. 4 plus 6, that is 2 into 4 is 8. Divided by 10 means 0.8 volt. Next, therefore, potential difference between B and D. Between B and D, that is E Thevenin's, that is equals to 0.8 minus 0.67. Already we know the potential difference between A and B, A and D. So we want B and D. That is what? This minus this, that is 0.8 minus 0.67, that is equals to 0.13 volt. Next, step 2. The battery is removed, leaving behind its internal resistance, which is in the case 0. See here, first remove galvanometer, that is step 1. In second step, just remove the battery. Okay, so 3 ohm and 4 ohm are in series. Their combined resistance here. This is 3 ohm and 4 ohm. These are series. Okay, series means what? Simple. When the resistance are series, R1 plus R2. So 3 plus 4, that is equals to 7 ohm. Next, 6 ohm and 6 ohm are in series. These are series, these are series. Okay, so 6 ohm and 6 ohm are in series. Their combined resistance, that is equals to 6 plus 6, 12 ohm. Next, these two are in parallel. See here, this and this is series, this and this is series, but these and these are parallel. So these two are in parallel. Their combined resistance is what? Whenever the resistance are in parallel means R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2. So this is 7 into 12. 7 into 12 divided by 7 plus 12, that is 4.4 ohm. Galvanometer resistance is what? 10 ohms. Here the galvanometer resistance is 10 ohm. Already they were given. Next, therefore, effective resistance between B and D, that is equals to RTH 4.4. This is effective resistance 4.4 plus galvanometer resistance is 10, that is 14.4 ohm. Current through the galvanometer is what? 0.13. Potential difference between B and this 0.13 divided by effective resistance RTH is 14.4. That becomes 0.007 ampere. So the current through the galvanometer is 0.007 amperes. Okay. See here. In this class, what we learn? Maximum transfer theorem. So the what you mean a statement? Maximum transfer theorem from a source to load, when the power transferred from a source to load when the load resistance is made equal to the internal resistance. Means we have to prove that Ri equals to RL. Okay, that's why first draw this circuit and also draw this graph here. RL equal to Ri we have to prove. Already we know the formula I equals to E by RL plus Ri. P equals to I square RL. Substitute the value of I in this expression and simply differentiate this with respect to RL. Okay, and find the value of RL, that is equals to Ri. This is the maximum transfer theorem and these are the two problems, applied problems. Okay, see here students, in previous classes we discussed about the Thevenin's theorem. Okay, whenever this chapter will finish, it means transient circuit is remaining. First I want to finish that also, and in last class I want to discuss Thevenin's theorem again. Okay, so that's why already I sent the notes for you. The video is not clear, but the notes is clear, no? So prepared that one, Thevenin's theorem. And problems also, one problem I solved, and two problems I given for the homework. And in Norton's theorem also, that is also bigger one, and already I solved the problems and homework also I have given. And next in superposition theorem also I solved the problems. In maximum transfer theorem there is no problems for you people. In this class I solved two applied problems. So here students, the Thevenin's theorem and Norton's theorem, superposition theorem and maximum transfer theorem, these four theorems are very important for your exam purpose. In your exam pattern in first semester only I told you, in your exam 2 marks 2 question will come, and 10 marks 1 derivation and 5 marks 1 problem. Okay, in 10 marks 1 derivation is there, no? Among these four theorem only, means Thevenin's theorem, Norton's theorem, superposition theorem and maximum transfer theorem. Among these four theorem, one theorem must and should come at 10 marks. Okay, so be prepared this fourth theorem. This fourth theorem is perfect, means 10 marks is in your pocket. Okay, so be prepared this 10 marks theorems. And in 5 marks, Thevenin's problems, Norton's problems, superposition problems, and these two problems. Among only these problems you have to prepare only. Okay, most concentration Thevenin's and Norton's superposition. Okay, any one problem they may can ask. Okay, already I given the homework, please try to solve those homework are very important. If you're not getting the answer, please contact me, I am there to solve you. Okay, first you go through the video and go through the notes and try to understand the theorem and problems and try to solve those problems. In the next class onwards I want to start the transient circuit. That is also a bigger part in this chapter, but that is easy one compared to this transient circuit. Here this is the transient circuit, means your chapter name is what? Transient circuit and what? Digital electro DC circuit and transient DC circuit analysis and transient circuit. Okay, these theorems all comes in DC circuit analysis. And in next class onwards I want to start the transient circuit. Okay, so in DC circuit analysis, what we discussed from the first class, in first class only I discussed about some basic definitions. Those basic definitions are, means what you mean by the mesh junction, active passive junction. Okay, those are basic definitions. In second class I discussed about the Thevenin's theorem and problems. In third class Norton's theorem and problems. In fourth class superposition theorem and problems. In this class I discussed about the maximum transfer theorem, and these two are the applied problems. So once again I want to discuss this theorem. This is very easy. Maximum power is transferred from a source to load when the load resistance is made equal to the internal resistance of the source. We have to prove this one. Means Ri equals to RL. The current flowing in the circuit is I. E is the EMF of the battery. So P output versus RL. This peak is known as P maximum peak. RL equals to Ri. Here I equals to E by R is their formula, but R means what? Ri and RL. So those are in series, means Ri plus RL. Consider this as expression number 1. We know P equal to I square into R, I square RL. Here power absorbed by the load is there, no? So that's why I am taken only RL, not Ri. Next P equals to I square RL. Substitute the value of I in this expression and see here. For the given source voltage E and internal resistance Ri are constant. E and Ri are constant. Therefore, power delivered to the load depends upon the value of RL. To get the maximum value of power, we differentiate the equation 1 with respect to RL. So, this is equation number 3. Differentiate this with respect to RL. P with respect to RL means dP by dRL. U by V is there. This is E square divided by RL plus Ri square into RL. Only first E square here also common, here also common. So that's why I am taken E square as a common. Next V as it is. Square is there, no? So V as it is. RL is differentiation of E is 1. Next minus RL plus Ri square is there. So RL plus Ri square means what? 2 RL plus RI, this square means that becomes 4. Next dp by drl, that is equals to 0. Simple is simplify this expression, and here RL square minus 2RL square, that is minus RL square. RI square is only RI square, plus 2RL RI minus 2RL RI get cancelled. But since RL plus RI can't be equal to 0, this is never equals to 0, only this is equals to 0, that is RL equal to RI. So RL equal to RI means maximum transfer theorem is proved. So these are the two applied problems. Just practice these two problems. In this problem, Thevenin's equivalent circuit of a network is converted into Norton's equivalent circuit. Means Thevenin's can be converted into Norton's. IN means what? Norton's current, that is equal to E Thevenin's by RTH. This is a network. Okay. So draw two circuit, RTH, ETH. These are the A and B are the junctions. So this is the current. RN equals to RTH. These are two junctions. Okay. So in this what, IN equals to current flowing through short circuited AB in figure B. These are short circuited, that is means what, IN equal to ETH by RTH. IN equal to ETH by RTH, RN equal to RTH. Therefore ETH equal to IN into RTH, that RTH equals to RN. So RN equals to RTH. Okay. In this problem, they were given the Wheatstone network. We have to find the current. First find the potential difference between A and B, A and D. First multiply 3 into 2. Next 4 into 2, divide by 3 plus 6. 4 plus 6. Next we have to find the potential difference between B and D. That's why minus from first value to the second value. Next in step 2, whenever these two are the series, so 3 plus 4 is 7. Here 6 plus 6 is 12. These are in series, but these two with these two are parallel. So parallel means 7 into 12 divided by 7 plus 12. That is 4.4. Next effective resistance between B and D is 4.4, galvanometer resistance is 10, that is 14.4. We want current, so this is the resistance and this is the potential difference. Potential difference 0.13 divided by resistance is 14.4, that is equals to 0.007 amperes. This is what the current through this Wheatstone network. Okay, see here student, in this class only I want to finish your I want to finish your DC circuit analysis. This is about DC circuit analysis, means I want 5 class to finish this DC circuit analysis. Means in this class only I want to finish DC circuit analysis. In next class onwards we have to discuss about the transient circuit. For your first internal up to DC circuit analysis I will ask, means only Thevenin's, Norton's, superposition and maximum transfer and the problems. Okay, only these 4 theorems and problems I will ask in your first internal test. Okay, so be prepared for first internal test, and also homework problems are most important for your first internal test. Okay, so here students, see here, whenever you prepared for this theorem, these are easy for your final exam purpose. Only you want to solve these theorems at the time of end, that means these are very difficult to understand and also you are confusing. So that's why prepared at that day only. Okay, so first you have to prepare this DC circuit analysis. If you have any doubt, any questions arises in your mind, please contact me. I will there for you solve your problems. Okay, so thank you. If you have any doubt, ask me. Thank you. Okay, next class onwards we will move towards the transient circuit. Okay, thank you so much.